This is Hull Wind 1 here behind me. It's our original windmill out of the two we have. It's 150 feet tall with 90-foot blades, and it has the capacity, along with Wind 2, to generate 12% of the town's power needs, which more or less controls all the traffic lights, street lights, and everything in the town of Hull. I'm Chris Nixon. I work for the Hull Municipal Light Plant down here in Hull, Massachusetts, about 20 miles south of Boston right now at Windmill Point. We're a 7-mile long town right on the ocean, and this is pretty much at the end of town.
I don't know how much electricity those things produce, but they gotta be doing something. My name is James Moore from Malden, Massachusetts. I'm currently living here in Hull, and I'm just down here walking with my dog and wondering why there ain't more windmills down here.
Wind energy is soft energy, which means it doesn't directly go to anybody's house. It goes into the grid. We still have to buy our energy from the grid because there's a lot of days when, you thought the wind was blowing hard today, but there's a lot of days when the wind doesn't blow at all, or it doesn't blow enough to generate it. And we do have to use electricity to make the turbines go to generate electricity. My name is Dick Miller. I'm the operations manager at the Hull Municipal Light Plant. We're a municipal, which means that every ratepayer, every person with a meter is a part owner of the light plant.
Enstar, National Grid, all the big players in the utility market that sell power have investors that they have to worry about their bottom line because they're in people that buy their stock. They want a return for their money. Whereas Hull's return for their money is inexpensive, reliable power. That's what we strive for here. My name is Pat Cannon. I'm the chairman of the Hull Municipal Light Board. Been on the board since 1993, and I lived here in the town all my life.
Well, years ago, the location where our first turbine was called Windmill Point, and they used to extract the salt from the seawater with a windmill and to salt cod to send our fish to send back to England or wherever they wanted to ship it.
Fast forward till the mid-'80s sometimes, I think it was, the school department got a grant to erect a small turbine down there, kind of like a science project as well as to use some of the electricity for the high school.
It was never properly maintained, and as a result, it seized up, blew out to sea in a big northeaster. Back in about 1998, a gentleman by the name of Malcolm Brown, who was very prolific in promoting wind alternative energy throughout the town.
At first everybody was a little skeptical, not so sure, and it was a big expense.
Because it was just like people looked at him, he was crazy, he was a whack job, and he turned out to be way ahead of his time.
And the more and more we looked into it, he won us over. And we started to realize this could be a good thing for the town.
They did the initial studies and they had town meetings. There was only one person that spoke out against them.
And there were some people that had some different concerns. There were concerns about what's going to happen with the birds, and is it too tall because planes fly overhead. We're on the direct flight path of Logan Airport. And it was just kind of the fear of the unknown. When it was constructed in 2001, foundation work took place in November. Then when the turbine itself actually showed up in December, and we were blessed that for 2 solid weeks with no wind at all, and it was very easy construction. After that was up and successful, most people would go up to it and they'd get 300-400 feet away from it and realize, well, yeah, you may just start to hear a little whoosh.
We have a guy that actually lives just under a mile away from the turbine. When it's blowing northeast, he can hear it from his house.
But all you're hearing is the wind against the blades. There's no motor noise.
Since then, we've probably had a handful of people will call if they have a shadow or some flicker, and it might be for 1 week at a certain time of the year, the sun's a certain way, and you know, I offer to buy them shades, and they never call again.
2001, Hull 1 went online, and then Hull 2 went online in 06.
Between the two of them, we're hoping to generate more power for the town and, you know, promote green energy, promote optional energy, take advantage of what, you know, the weather has down here for us. It's always windy in Hull.
We have a plan now to try and build 4 offshore turbines, which would be a great source of alternative energy.
Bigger than this, right?
A lot bigger.
Bigger than that.
About double the size of that one. 4 of them. It would be the equivalent to about 97% of the town of Hull's energy needs.
We haven't run into opposition like Cape Wind has. Of course, their project's huge, but as far as the physical site of it, as I understand, the nearest turbine would be
About 4 or 5 miles out.
Right. Yeah. So
Harding's
that,
Ledge?
Yeah.
Mile and a quarter.
Well, yeah, but they're thinking on the other side of Harding, because they said 4 to 5 for the turbines.
That wasn't the initial.
No, but they're making them redo it and redo it.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the cost to build them, without a huge federal or state grant, it's upside down so much that the energy would cost too much.
And if you are standing on the closest point of shore, hold your thumb up, you know, like this, and you won't be able to see the turbine because it's kind of on the horizon. So I'm not sure what the real argument is on that.
They ain't an eyesore to me. You know, if they're gonna save me money on electricity and make the earth green, you know, I'm all good with that.
Woods Hole Oceanographic is going to do a study in Hull Gut. It's constantly running water, and we're looking into putting some underwater turbines down there.
There's nothing wrong with that. You know, we got crazy running rivers in this country. You know, put some of them things, right, boom, right there in the river. Zoom, that thing is spinning up electricity like crazy.
Solar power, hydroelectric, wind. I just think take advantage of whatever you can. No reason to let the wind go to waste.
I think a lot of people can look at that, hey, if a little town like Hull, there's 12,000 residents, 7-mile-long town, if they can do it, maybe we can too.
Everybody wants to be green until it costs them money. Once you tell somebody that you can be very green, but it's going to cost you another $25 a month, it's just not going to happen. So it has to be fiscally responsible, and it has to be rate neutral before it can work.
I personally hope it happens. You know, I think that the country needs to wake up. They want to talk the talk of, you know, getting away from fossil fuel. Well, there's sometime you got to stand up and do it.